Hello students, hope all of you are fit and fine. So welcome to Teach Tigers. So today we will have our first lecture on motion in one dimension. So motion के बारे में जब हम बात करेंगे, so is there any question that pops up into your mind? Okay, so when I was a kid, I used to think, when I sit in the moving bus, why is it so that everything seems to move behind? Why do you think if I take two balls, let's say one is heavy and one is light, और उनको same time पे from the same height if I drop them, why is it so both of them will reach the bottom at the same time, though it seems कि heavy वाला जल्दी पहुंच जाएगा? Fine. If you are chasing someone, can you calculate the time and the distance through which you will be able to chase him? Is it so? So you just think about all these things. Because physics starts from thinking. Formula तो बाद की बात है हमारे पास. Okay? So when I think about motion, there are few terms that comes into my mind. So first of all, we will discuss all those important terminologies over here. Then next हम क्या करेंगे? Distance and displacement पे चले जाएंगे. And उसके बाद क्या करेंगे? Average speed and average velocity के बारे में जानेंगे हम लोग. And later on, we will do some problems on average speed. Now here, मोशन इज रिलेटिव. ये रिलेटिव मतलब क्या होता है? लेट मी गिव यू एन सिचुएशन. आप और आपका फ्रेंड, यू आर मूविंग इन गोइंग इन अ बस, ओके, एंड वन ऑफ योर अदर फ्रेंड इज सिटिंग इन द बेंच आउटसाइड द बस. So if you ask your friend who is just sitting beside you, what kind of motion do you think I am in? So what will be your friend reply to you? He will say, oh, you are sitting along with me only, so तुम तो रेस्ट में हो. Okay, very well. He is not wrong. So now you do one thing. You ask the other friend who is sitting outside in the bench. You ask him, what kind of motion do you think I am in? So he will say, oh, you are in the bus and the bus is moving. So you are actually not at rest. You are moving. Okay. So now what happened? Two different friends, two different answers. One is saying you are at rest and another one is saying you are moving. So, and actually nobody is wrong. Fine. So what do you think this example tells? It also tells you that motion does depend on the observer also, who is observing the object. That's why I am saying motion is relative. Okay, next one. The another term that you need to know is frame of reference. अभी frame of reference क्या होता है? So let's first of all read this out. It is a set of coordinates attached to our surroundings. Now what does set of coordinates means? आपने मैथ्स में ये चीज पढ़ते हैं, x, y, z. What are these? These are the set of coordinates. Now आपको क्या करना है? What you have to do here? You have to attach these set of coordinates with your immediate surrounding. Now what I mean to say? For example, if you are sitting in the bench, so your set of coordinates will be attached to the bench and bench is at rest, isn't it? So though that will be your frame of reference. For example, you are moving in a bus, okay? So your bus is your immediate surrounding. So what you are going to do? You are going to attach these coordinates x, y and z with the bus. So if I tell you, you just remember this term over here. The term is called surrounding. अगर कहीं भी टेक्स्ट बुक में आपको ये frame of reference word दिखाई देता है ना, so just replace this word with your immediate surrounding as of now. Fine. So नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट इज पोजीशन. पोजीशन के बारे में आप बचपन से सुनते आए हैं, ये पोजीशन मत करो, उस पोजीशन पे चले जाओ, इजंट इट? नॉन इन टर्म्स ऑफ फिजिक्स पोजीशन क्या होता है? इन द सेम सेट ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेट्स x, y एंड z. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई आस्क यू व्हाट आर द कोऑर्डिनेट्स फॉर द ओरिजिन, यू से कि सर हमने मैथ्स में पढ़ा है 0 is 0,0,0 आर द कोऑर्डिनेट्स फॉर द ओरिजिन. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट, लेट्स से somewhere in the middle of the room, if I take any other point, let's say this, so you will say what is the coordinates of these points? For example, I will take them 1, 2, 3. Now in physics, position are just coordinates, as simple as that. So if there is a word position, just think in mind that these are just the coordinates. Okay, next term is object and specifically point object. Now see, object के बारे में तो हम सबको मालूम है, but what I am talking here is point object. अभी point object क्या होता है? Now point means what? It's very small. Its size is negligible. Let me ask you a question. अगर मैं आप लोगों से पूछूं कि this train, as you can see, Can it be considered as a point object? Sir, you will say, sir, how is it possible? कैसे हो सकता है? ट्रेन तो बहुत बड़ी होती है. How can it be a point? But let me give you an example. Here in physics, why do we can call this train as a point object? Now in what situation? Let's say there is a train. What इसकी length क्या रहती है? Almost half a kilometer, 500 meter. Let's say. Now this train moves from your Delhi to Mumbai. Now see the size of the journey or the length of the journey from Delhi to Mumbai, and if you compare the size of the distance from Delhi to Mumbai and with that of train, if you see in a large map, so this train will look like just a point, isn't it? But again, if the same train is a metro train in your city and it moves from one metro station to another metro station, और दो मेट्रो स्टेशन के बीच में दूरी कितना होता है? मोस्ट प्रोबेबली 1 किलोमीटर, 1.5 किलोमीटर. एंड व्हाट इज द लेंथ ऑफ द ट्रेन? ओनली 500 मीटर. सो इज इन दैट केस, कैन यू कॉल दिस ट्रेन एज अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट? Definitely not. See, so what do you mean by this example? This example means कि when object whose size is very very small as compared to size of its journey can be treated as a point object. What I mean to say कि पहले केस में when the size of the train was 500 meter and the distance was from Delhi to Mumbai, so see when the size of the object is very small as compared to the size of the journey, it will be called point object. But the same train, when it goes from one metro station to another metro station, now here the size of the object is as large as the size of the journey. So in that case, you won't call it a point object. Got this point? Okay. So next is what is motion actually now? Now since you have understood the terms coordinates क्या होता है आपको पता लग गया, since you have understood कि surrounding क्या होता है ये भी आपको मालूम चल गया, तो now let's try to understand what is motion here. So read this thing out. Change in position of object. Position means coordinates of object with respect to its surrounding. Surrounding means frame of reference with the passage of time. For more clarity, let's understand here. These are the set of coordinates for you. That means frame of reference for you. And let's say this bird is flying. And with respect to these set of coordinates, the position coordinates of this bird, let's say x, y, z, are continuously changing with respect to time. So can I call that this bird is in motion? Yes, of course. Now this is more sophisticated way of thinking about the motion. Now, because the chapter name is motion in one dimension, see here. So what am I going to do? I am going to restrict my motion into the straight line only. Now what does motion in a straight line means here? We will see here. If I ask you a question कि you are in a room, ठीक है, आप जिस रूम पे बैठे हैं, let's assume this is a room over here. Take the corner of the room. Let's say I have this corner of the room or whatever corner of the room you are looking at. Now, what is motion in a straight line? If I ask you, when you move in a straight line, how many coordinates will change at a single time over here? If let's say this is a room over here and these are the coordinates 0, 0, 0. So if I move along the y-axis, how many coordinates are changing? You will say, sir, एक ही coordinate तो change हो रहा है, y वाला change हो रहा है, z और x वाला तो नहीं change हो रहा. Okay, if I say कि okay, if I move along this wall, you understand? For example, this is a board over here and this is a x-axis and this is a y-axis. So if I move like this, how many coordinates can change? You will say, okay sir, 2 coordinates will change, this coordinate will also change, this coordinate will also change when I will move like this on this plane, isn't it? Now you try to understand over here. You do a little experiment. Let's say this is the corner of the room and you take a thread and tie the one end of the thread to this corner of the room and take this thread, other end of this thread into your hand, and keeping your hand like this, you walk inside your room till middle of your room. Now keep it like this. Now let's say there is some insect who started crawling from the corner along the thread till your hand. So for that insect, how many coordinates will start changing? It's looking like this. For example, this is a thread and it will start moving like this. So you will say when he is moving along the thread over here, so all the 3 coordinates will change, isn't it? Yes, of course. So to the answer of my question is कि if I move in a straight line, how many coordinates can change? So one coordinate can also change, two coordinates can also change, similarly three coordinates can also change. It's not like that only single coordinate will change. Okay, now in motion in a straight line, while solving the motion in the straight line, if I take all the three coordinates at once, it makes my calculation a little bit difficult or maybe more complex. So for ease, what do I do here? I will take, for ease of my calculation, consider the direction of motion as the x-axis by default. For example, here you see the inclined plane, यहाँ पे हमारा ब्लॉक है, ये नीचे की ओर स्लाइड कर रहा है यहाँ पे. Now if I take my coordinate axis like this, let's say if I take like this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now when the block is sliding like this, block comes here. So you tell me how many coordinates are changing? Two coordinates are changing. So I will have to do the calculation in two coordinates. Now what would happen? What would happen if I take my x-axis like this and y-axis like this and the third z-axis to the out of the plane? Okay, so now if I take it like this, how many coordinates are changing? Only single coordinates is changing. So what is the advantage? मेरे को क्या फायदा हुआ इस चीज से? मुझे फायदा ये हुआ that if I consider the direction of motion as x-axis by default, this was my direction of motion and I have considered this direction of motion by default as x-axis. So फायदा ये हुआ that I need not to bother about other two axes, y-axis और z-axis के बारे में चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है. So that will ease my calculations. Okay, so now हम इस chapter में what we will be doing, we will by default considering the direction of motion as x-axis, not even as x-axis. You can also take it as y-axis, you can also take it as z-axis, it's your choice. But most of the time it's in book, it is taken as x-axis. Now let's come to the next thing. Next is our distance and displacement. Now these are the two terms that you might have heard in your lower classes also. Distance क्या होता है, displacement क्या होता है. So let's revise them a bit. So I'm taking an example. See here, I have this insect. It has to go from A to B. Now what am I going to do here? Let's say it follows this path, this, like this, like this. This is the path. So now what do you mean by distance? Distance, you remember it. Distance is actually length of the total path. It's covered by any particle, any object, by anybody. Okay, length of the path. Now how do I calculate the length of the path? Is there any formula? I'm sorry, there is no as such particular formula to calculate length of the path. So in order to calculate the length of the path, you will have to read the question and apply your common sense. For example, here in this case, does this path looks like a thread? If I open this thread, the length of this thread will be only the length of the path. So this will be my distance over here. Okay, so distance is actually the length of the path covered over here. Now what about displacement? What is displacement over here? So if I talk about displacement, displacement is not the length of the path. For displacement, you just have to look at initial point and the final point directly. कहाँ से कहाँ तक जाना है इसे? It has to go from A to B. Now since it has to go from A to B, so you just have to find the shortest path from A to B between initial and final point. So shortest path is this one. If I draw a direct line from A to B, isn't it? Now let me tell you one more thing. Distance is a scalar quantity, whereas displacement is a vector quantity. Now what is vector? We have already studied. Vector means any physical quantity that has a direction also. Distance doesn't have any direction, but displacement does have. So if I'm telling you that displacement is a vector, now how do I draw a vector? This is the way. Always remember, how do I draw the vector? Vector is generally represented by this line and arrow, as you know. So how do I draw it here? What you have to do, you will have to take this vector. There is a tail of this vector. You put the tail of this vector at the initial point. Here I am putting it. And put the head of this vector at the B. So that means the final point. So this is basically my displacement vector. So in totality, if I conclude my points, what is distance? I said length of the path covered is distance. Secondly, it's a scalar quantity. Third, what did I say? I say there is no formula. Use your common sense to find it out. Whereas, what did I tell you about displacement? I told you it's a vector drawn from initial to final point. Here you see, from initial to final point, I have drawn a vector. Next, what is it? It's the shortest distance between the 2 points. Yes, it can be defined like this also. And if you want to calculate displacement mathematically, what you need to do here, you need to find the position vector. You know, in vectors we studied about the position vector. So it is defined like this: r position vector minus final position vector minus initial position vector. This is how you calculate it, and it is called change in position vector. This delta term represents the change actually. Remember this thing. And anything जिसके सर पे आपका arrow रहता है, that is a vector quantity. You already know it. So mathematically you define it like this. Now you see any position vector, though can be written as like this. You have studied this thing. Now what did I say? हमने ये कहा था कि in a straight line motion by default the direction that we will be taking will be the x direction only. Okay, so y direction will automatically become 0, isn't it? Now see, any position vector will only be written in that case xi cap only. No j cap, no z cap is there, isn't it? Now since there is no j cap, no k cap, so can I replace this r vector simply by x only? Isn't it? Can I do? Yes, of course. So particularly if I want to write the formula of displacement for motion in one dimension, I will modify this formula. I will restrict this formula to single dimension only. So what I will be writing here, you remember it over here. I will write it like this: x final, x coordinate of the position vector, final coordinate minus x initial, or I can say it will be equals to delta x. आपको ये याद रखना है for a while in this chapter. Later on हम आगे coming chapter में we will definitely use this formula. हम इस formula को जरूर use करेंगे. Okay. So how here एक छोटा सा example कर लेते हैं. This example is not restricted to one dimension, but okay, in order to understand here, we can do this example over here. Let's say if I ask you, this is a circular path, better I say, of radius r, and some objects start moving along its circumference with constant speed. I can say with constant speed. Okay. Now let's say it reaches this point B over here and then this point C over here. I can say this C and angle between A and C is, let's say, 90 degree. I say like this. Now if I ask you what is the distance from A to C and what is the displacement from A to C, can you calculate? Please give it a try. Pause this video and give it a try and then resume it and see the answer how it has to be done. Now you see, if it is going like this along the circumference from A to till point C, so what is the length of the path? The length of the path will be like this, isn't it? From here to here. Now what is this length? You see, the total circumference is 2 pi r, and out of 2 pi r circumference, it's only covering how much of the part? It's only covering the 3/4 of the part of the circumference, 3 by 4 times 2 pi r. So don't you think this thing will be nothing, but this thing will be 3 by 2 pi r will be the total distance, isn't it? From here to here. Okay, and if I talk about displacement, what is the displacement? Again, I told you, you draw the position vector, you draw the displacement vector from where to where? From initial to final position. So this is my initial position, this is my final position. So this is the displacement vector over here. And how do we calculate the magnitude of the vector? हमने vectors में पढ़ा है, magnitude is calculated by the length of the vector. So the see, what is the length here? So this is r, this is r. So what is the length? If you use the Pythagoras theorem over here, so you will find this will come about to be r under root 2. So my r under root 2 will be displacement. This was simple question, isn't it? You just have to keep the formulas in mind for displacement and for distance. Again, just use the common understanding over here. Now let's calculate the distance and displacement in another question over here. Now this question again is not restricted to motion in one dimension, but again इसको displacement and distance को understand करने के लिए we will give it a try definitely, and it is not that much difficult. Fine. So if I ask you, there is an object that starts from here. Let's say this is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. It starts from here towards x-axis like this, okay? And he walks how much? Let's say he goes from point O to A, and distance between point O to A is, let's say, 3 meters. This is given. Now what he does here, at A he takes a sharp right turn. Sharp right turn. Can you imagine it? So he will come like this, sharp right turn, and let's say he reaches the point number B over here, and let's say distance between A and B is given, that is 4 meter over here. Now what he does, he reaches the B. Now from B he just सीधा ऊपर को चला जाता है, vertically up, he turns still vertically up and now goes like this, vertically up, and now reaches another point which is point number C, and this distance between B to C is given, which is 5 meter over here. Okay, now what you have to solve here, you will have to solve for the distance. आप बताइए कितना distance होगा, कितना displacement हुआ, है ना, from where to where, from O to A, that means initial to, sorry, O to C, that means from initial to your final point. Okay, calculate distance and displacement from O to C. Now give it a try and please try to solve it. Pause करिए वीडियो को and please try to solve it yourself. I hope you tried it. Now let's say कि इसका सॉल्यूशन कैसा है करेंगे हम. फाइन. सो डिस्टेंस इज वेरी इजी. डिस्टेंस के लिए मैंने क्या बताया, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू जस्ट हैव टू कैलकुलेट द लेंथ ऑफ द पाथ. सो व्हाट इज द लेंथ ऑफ द पाथ, सी O to A, then A to B, then B to C. So for length of the path, you just have to calculate, add all the three distances, isn't it? So from O to A 3, then from A to B 4, 5. Likewise, it will be 3 plus 4, 7 plus 5. How much it is? It's 12. So what is my distance? Distance is my 12. Let's call it meters. Let's take this length in meters. Now what about displacement? Now for displacement you will say, sir, it's very hard to imagine. Just please try to imagine it. Let's say it is a room and it is a corner of the room. So first it goes from the one edge, along the one edge O to A, along x-axis. Then he takes right turn, then he reaches at a B. Now he's at the middle of the room, somewhere in the floor. Now from floor he rises up, and now at C he's in the middle of the room. So if you draw a displacement vector from initial to final point, from that means corner to middle of the room, it will look like this. But the problem is, now if I want to calculate the length of this displacement vector, how would I calculate it? This is the problem. So for that you have to just use the simple mathematics. Now what that mathematics is, let's try to understand. First of all, try to connect this point O to B. If you connect this point O to B, you will see a right triangle in the base. Okay, where this is the right triangle over here. Can you see the right triangle? Okay, now in this right triangle, if I draw it separately, see, this is the right triangle over here, OB, and this is 90 degree. Just try to imagine it. Just try to imagine it like a floor. Okay, this is a right triangle. Now for O to B, there is from A to B it's 4, from O to A it's 3. So in right triangle you will use Pythagoras theorem. I think you know the Pythagoras theorem, and this OB side will become hypotenuse. Now how high hypotenuse is calculated? Hypotenuse is under root of B square plus P square. So under root of 3 square plus 4 square will give me how much? He will give me 5. So the length of OB is how much? 5 basically. Right? Now since I got the length of OB, now you see there is another triangle that you can see. Which triangle? See this one. Can you see this triangle? Or if I draw it with a different pen, you will understand it. See this one. Can you see this triangle? Now this is again here 90 degree. Now again this is a right triangle. So here also we are going to use Pythagoras. Now see, this OB side is 5 and this BC side which is given is also 5. 5 and 5. So this is hypotenuse. OC become hypotenuse. So going by the same formula, you can calculate the hypotenuse, and finally the length of the hypotenuse will be 5 under root 2. So what will be your displacement? Displacement will be 5 under root 2 meters. So this is how you calculate distance and displacement. Got it? Now I think you have better idea कि distance कैसे calculate करना है और displacement कैसे calculate करना है, isn't it? So let's move forward. Now what am I going to do? हम अपना displacement और distance की calculation we will restrict up to single dimension only, okay? Because हम motion in one dimension पढ़ रहे हैं, ठीक है? So if I am taking a number line over here. Number line you might have studied in mathematics also, isn't it? Let's say it's a number line. Number line में क्या होता है? This is x equal to 0, isn't it? And towards this there are positive integer x equals to 1, x equal to 2. और left side में क्या होता है? X equals to -1, -2, isn't it? यही तो होता है number line में, fine? Now let me give you a situation over here, or in that situation what we will do, we will try to calculate distance and displacement over here simply. Now let's say if I ask you, a person which starts from x equals to minus a, let's minus 5, and till it goes till x equals to, let's say, plus 6, from a to b, let's say he goes like this, and this is b position. If I ask you in the number line what is the distance and what is the displacement, it's very simple. See, minus 5 to 0, it's 5, then 0 to 6, it's 6. So 5 plus 6, how much? 11, isn't it? These are 11 units, or I can say if I take it in meters distance, so I will say 11 meters. Now what is 11 meter? 11 meters is distance from where to where? From A to B. Very simple as that. Now if I talk about displacement, again A to B, displacement is also 11 meter. You see, you draw the shortest distance between A and B. This is the shortest distance only. So 11 meter is the displacement and 11 meter is the distance. But here, just keep one thing in mind. When you write about the distance, let's say if I have to answer it, कि distance मेरा कितना है? I will say that distance is 11 meters. So see, distance is my scalar quantity. So यहाँ पे आपको direction mention करने की जरूरत नहीं है, isn't it? Distance में. But when you talk about displacement, please remember it, make it a habit, because now you are in 11th standard. So for displacement, what you will be doing, because displacement is a vector quantity, so go by the formula. Now what does formula says? Though displacement is what? Final position vector minus initial position vector, isn't it? Now you see, final position vector, as I say, what can I write final position vector? This is, what should I write it? This is how much? X equal to 6. Or in terms of vector, if I want to write its position vector, R final, what will be called? It will be called 6i cap, because there is no j and no k cap, isn't it? Similarly, what will be R initial position vector over here? R initial, it will be basically minus 5, isn't it? Na? So what will be I calling it? Minus 5i cap, isn't it? Because it's in negative direction. So if I write it over here, so final position minus initial position. So final position is 6i cap minus initial position is what? Initial position is minus 5i cap. So what will be answer? Answer will be 11i cap. Now you will say, sir, I cap आप क्यों लगा रहे हो? Because it's obvious that it's x direction only, isn't it? Definitely it's obvious. So now onwards you need not to put this I cap over here. But at least if you need not to put this I cap over here, just take the I cap side. Now just write this plus 6 minus, but you can't drop this minus sign over here. Try to understand. I cap you can drop it, but you can't drop minus sign, because if you drop this minus sign, the answer will be different, isn't it? So here plus 6 minus or minus 5, how much it become? 11 meters it become. Now see, the distance is 11 meter, displacement is 11 meter here, that's fine. But if I in displacement, we need to mention the direction also. So in order to tell the direction, you can call it like this. Obviously direction is obvious. 11 meter toward which direction? Towards positive x-axis, you can say, towards I cap you can say, and if you want to tell the direction in terms of geography, you can call it east direction. East, north, south, west. This is how we write the direction, isn't it? You can call it east. So but this is for sure that while you mention the displacement, your sign, you have to mention the direction. Definitely you will have to mention the direction. Now for example, one more example over here. Let's say from A to B, when it went over here, this was x equal to 0, this was x equals to minus 5, and this was x equal to plus 6. It went from A to B, isn't it? Now let's say if I ask you, now from B to C, it came back here. This is the point C, and let's say this point is my x equals to plus 3, and let's say this point is C. Now if I ask you calculate the distance and displacement from B to C, so you will say, sir, distance तो I can see, distance तो मेरे पास मुझे दिख रहा है, how much it is? From between 3 to 6, distance is 3 meter, isn't it? But if I talk about the displacement, so displacement कितना हो जाएगा मेरे पास B से C के बीच में? Now for displacement, you try to understand. Displacement. What is the displacement? Final position vector minus initial. Now final position is what? Plus 3. Initial is what? Minus plus 6. Final minus initial. Try to understand. Now what is the answer? It's minus 3. Now see, what does minus indicates here? Actually it's minus 3i cap, isn't it? 3 is to magnitude, that is for sure. So magnitude of displacement is 3 meter, but negative sign indicates what? this sign is indicating your direction. So in displacement, direction is very important. So please don't forget this minus and plus sign, and don't ignore these signs, because negative sign here is indicated your assumed negative direction. Now what do I mean by assumed negative direction? By default on number line, left side is taken as negative and right side is taken as positive, though this is not always the case, but in 99% cases we do it like this. So obviously if it is negative, it is telling you that this particle, while starting from B, it just went towards left side over here. Got it? So here, this is how you have to do it. Now in this both example, what did you see? While you are moving in a straight line, you see in both the example, when you calculated distance and displacement from A to B, आपका distance और displacement बराबर आया था, isn't it? It was 11 meters and 11 meters, isn't it? And from B to C also, distance भी 3 meter था, displacement भी 3 meter था. Obviously, if I leave the direction in displacement. So let me ask you a question. Is it always happen like this कि हमारा distance and displacement क्या हमेशा बराबर आएगा straight line में move करते हुए? Let's see over here. If I ask you one thing, okay, don't break this journey between B. Just take this journey directly from A to B and B to C. That means what I am saying, just directly consider initial point as A and final point as C. A से C तक direct journey देखो. And let me ask you a question. What is total distance from A to C? Okay, so you will say, sir, okay, I have to calculate the length of the path. From A to B, it was 11 meters. From B to C, it was 3 meters. So 11 plus 3, how much is the distance? You will say, okay, sir, from A to C, distance is how much? Distance is 14 meters. Very well. But now, if I talk about displacement, what was displacement from A to C? Was it 14 meters or was it something different? Now go back to the definition. और go back to the concept and formulas I told you. मैंने क्या कहा था कि displacement is the shortest distance between what? Between the initial and final point. So from A to C, what is initial point A and final point is C. So what will be the shortest distance? Shortest distance will be drawn by a vector only, na? So vector would be like this. Tail would be at initial point and head will be at final point, isn't it? Now see, can you calculate the length of this vector? So length of this vector will be displacement, na? So because length of the vector will give you the magnitude of vector and the vector is displacement. Okay? So now you calculate from -5 till 8, what would our displacement be? So if I calculate, I think my displacement will come out to be here. Now again, you don't calculate it manually, just use the formula. What did I say? Final position coordinate minus initial position coordinate. Final position coordinate is C plus 3 minus initial position coordinate is -5. Minus of -5. So how much is come? It comes plus 8. Now again, plus indicates your assumed positive direction, which is basically right side in number line, isn't it? And how much is the magnitude? 8 meters. So displacement is 8 meter. Now you see from A to C, distance is 14 meter, displacement is 8 meter. So that answers my question. कि displacement and distance जरूरी नहीं है हमेशा बराबर आएगा in a straight line. कब बराबर आएगा? If I ask you when they will be equal, just think about it. अभी पिछले दो एग्जाम्पल को लेके सोचो. So I can say कि while moving in a straight line, and again I am asking this question in context of a straight line motion only. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है till the object is moving in a straight line without changing its direction or without reversing its direction, the magnitude of displacement and the distance will be same. कहने का मतलब है जब तक ये पार्टिकल स्ट्रेट लाइन में जाएगा without turning or without changing the direction, the magnitude of distance and displacement will be same. Okay, so here is the statement. What does this line means? Displacement cannot be greater than distance. Obviously this is what we studied right now. Okay, but however displacement can be smaller. So can I conclude it like this? Displacement will be either smaller or it can be equal also to distance in a straight line. Or equal कब होगा? We have already studied. So displacement will be equal to distance when objects move in a straight line without turning, without changing its direction. Just keep this thing in mind. This concept will be very much useful to you. Now our next concept comes about the average speed and एवरेज वेलोसिटी। ये एवरेज स्पीड एंड एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या होता है? लेट्स रीड द फॉर्मूला फर्स्ट। हियर यू एटलीस्ट रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला। स्पीड तो यू माइट हैव सुना भी होगा आपने डे टू डे लाइफ में, व्हाट इज एवरेज स्पीड? नाउ सी हियर, एवरेज स्पीड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फॉर्मूला इज total distance divided by time taken. You have to calculate the total distance. You know how to calculate it. अभी हमने वही किया है. And you just calculate the time, how much time it takes. Simply divide it, you will get the average speed. Now this shouldn't be that much difficult over here. The reason is because it's a scalar quantity, average speed. Why I'm saying scalar? Distance scalar है, टाइम स्केलर है, तो डेफिनेटली एवरेज स्पीड भी क्या होगा आपका? स्केलर होगा. सो यू नीड नॉट टू वरी अबाउट द डायरेक्शन हियर. Now coming back to this average velocity, the formula changes a little bit. Instead of distance, we will take total displacement over here for average velocity, and the time obviously remain the time we have to calculate for the total displacement. Now again, for displacement also we know there is a formula delta r by delta t. Delta r means change in position vector over here, but again restricting it to one dimension or single coordinate system only. So what I can say, I can replace it with delta x by delta t. Here you will be using this one only. You will be using in next coming chapters. Now let's try to understand again these two concepts in number line. We will take an example over here. Let's say this is x equal to 0. This is the number line, and considering the right side as positive integer line and left side as negative integer line over here. This is positive and this is negative over here. I am giving you a question. You just please calculate the average speed and the average velocity in both of, in this case. Let's say this is a point number A and this is a point number B, and let's say this is point number C. I am taking the same example as previous. And from A to B, it moves from A to B first, and then from B to C it turns back at B and then come back to B to C. Now what were the coordinates I have given to you over here? I think A was x equals to -5, B was x equals to +6, and C was how much? C was x equals to +3. These were the coordinates. Now simply what is needed here in order to calculate the average speed and average velocity, you need time also. So let's take the time from A to B. Let's say the time was from A to B was 1 second, and from B to C again time was 1 second only. Will you be able to calculate it? Just pause it for a while, this video, and then resume it and then look at the solutions. The question is same. The distance and displacement you have already calculated for all the parts from A to B, B to C, as well as from A to C. Just divide it by time and you will get the answers. Fine. So for you, I am only calculating from A to C, or you can also calculate for A to B and B to C by yourself. I am sure you will be able to do it. From A to C, what was distance? You calculated. It was from here to here, it was 11. From here to here, it was 3. So total distance was 14 meters. And dividing by the total time was 1 plus 1, how much? 2. So average from A to C, the average speed was 7 meters per second. This was average speed. When I talk about the average displacement, what was it? So from displacement, you knew that this was the vector, this was the displacement, and displacement was +8, and the time remains same, 2 seconds. So 2, it will be +4 meter per second. Now obviously units of velocity is what? Meter per second. Thus this was average velocity. In fact, this is the magnitude of average velocity is 4 meter per second. When I put the sign over here, it also tells you about the direction. And what is the direction of average velocity? You see, what should be the direction of average velocity? Time is scalar, displacement has a direction. So I can say the direction of displacement is only the direction of average velocity. Isn't it? Very much true. So you remember, direction of displacement and direction of average velocity are same over here. Okay. Now, average speed is not a real speed you see over here. आप लोग डेफिनेटली कई आप में से कई लोग ने एक चीज को नोटिस किया होगा. यू माइट हैव नोटिस वन थिंग. लेट्स से डिस्टेंस बिटवीन योर होम एंड टिल योर स्कूल. लेट्स से, let me give an example. Let's say this distance is 10 kilometers and this distance is 10 kilometer, and let's increase this distance. Let's take it 50 kilometers. And how much time do you take? Time you take, let's say 1 hour. Let's say this is the situation. Let me ask you, what is average speed? over here from your home till your school. You will say it's easy, sir. Distance is 50, time is 1 hour. So average speed should be what? Average speed should be 50 kilometers per hour. Now you tell me one thing. Is this the speed जिससे आपके हमेशा ही घर से लेकर स्कूल तक क्या इसी स्पीड के साथ जा रहे थे? और didn't you stop midway in a red light or somewhere? Didn't you actually increase your speed somewhere in the midway? It is not like that कि आप हमेशा ही 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर से अपने घर से लेकर अपने स्कूल तक गए, isn't it? So can I say, is this a real speed? No, it's not a real speed. No, what is actually a real speed? Have you looked at the speedometer in your car? एक स्पीडोमीटर होता है वहाँ पे, and this looks like this. That tells you the speed actually. So that speed जो स्पीडोमीटर पे आता है, that speed is called instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed, which is not a real speed. Now what do I mean by instantaneous speed? See this word instant. Instant means at particular moment. So when you look at the speedometer, आपको इस particular moment पे there will be a needle. Let's say this needle right now is at 10. So at this particular moment, what is the speed? It's 10 km per hour. Within the fraction, in the next moment, this speed might become 20. So at that particular moment, what will be the real speed? That will be 20. So that real speed is actually instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed at particular moment, which keeps on changing. Fine. So this instantaneous speed, इसके बारे में हम आगे पढ़ेंगे आगे वाली क्लास में. For a while, just keep this thing in mind that there are two different kind of speed. One is instantaneous speed and one is average speed. Same is the case with average velocity and instantaneous velocity also. The instantaneous speed and velocity we will study in next coming lectures. Fine. Okay. Now let's do some numerical problems over the average speed. कुछ numerical problems करना जरूरी है because that will increase your logical reasoning over here. Now let's read the question first. There is a person who goes from point P to Q. It is saying that person जाता है आपके P से Q तक with constant speed of how much? 40 km per hour and back from Q to P with 60 km per hour. Find the average speed for its entire journey. Fine. This is the situation. This is point P, this is point Q. It is saying it first goes from P to Q and then it returns from Q to P. Like this. Now, while going from P to Q, his average speed was, constant speed was how much? 40 km per hour. And while returning from Q to P, his speed was 60 km per hour. Now it is asking you find the average speed for the entire journey. Entire journey means what? You find average speed from where to where? From P to P again. P to P again. Just don't consider the middle point. Why I'm saying that initial point is P and final point is P also. And also think about average velocity also. Now you remember in average velocity there is a displacement and average speed there is a distance over. Now try to think about it, how to go for it, okay? If you have tried it yourself, but after pausing the video, you can start it over here again. Now you will say, sir, हमें तो P से Q तक और Q से P तक only speed is mentioned. The distance is not mentioned, the time is not mentioned. So how can we find the average speed? And those who are thinking average speed 40 plus 60 divided by 2 equals to 50 है, those people are wrong. इतना ऐसा नहीं है. Fine. So you can't do it like that. So just stick to the formula. Let's try out here. Average speed का formula, what did I tell you? Average speed was total distance by total time. So that is what you have to do here. Now problem is distance and time is not given. Only speeds are given over here. And do you know this formula? Distance is speed into time. ये तो आपने पढ़ा ही होगा lower classes में. Distance equals to speed into time. I'm sure we will use all this formula also. So here, let's use two formulas. Total distance by total time. One is the formula for average speed and the next formula distance is speed into time. ये दो formula use कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. Now let's assume देखो it goes from P to Q and then from Q to P. We don't have distance, so let's assume it. Whatever is not given, let's assume it. Distance is d1 and this distance is also d1. Why I'm taking this distance to be same? Because both of the points are same. So total distance become d1 plus d1, that is 2d1. And let's say from here to here time is t1 and from here to here time is t2. P to Q t1, Q to P t2. So total time becomes how much? T1 plus t2. So let's solve it further. 2d1 divided by t1 plus t2. Now how do I get it? T1, T2 नहीं पता, D1 नहीं पता, तो let's use this formula ना. From P to Q, I know velocity is v1, and from q to p, velocity is v2, I know. Now, what is the relation between these three variables, v1, d1 and t1? Here is the relation. I can write d1 equals to v1 into t2. Likewise, I can write relation between these three quantities also. What is it? d2 equals to v2 into t2, isn't it? v1 and v2 are given to us, isn't it? So we will put these values later on. But anyway, can I replace the value of t1 and t2 here? Okay, this distance is d2, but you see here, this distance is, this should have been d2, but d1 or d2 barabar hai, that's why I have taken it d1 only. So let's do one thing, instead of d2, let's write it d1 only. So from here, we can do this thing, 2d1, t1 को हम यहाँ से क्या लिख देते हैं? Fine, this is t1. t1 को हम यहाँ से लिख देते हैं d1 divided by v1. We can write it like this, isn't it? यहाँ से. Similarly, t2 को क्या लिख सकता हूँ मैं? d1 divided by v2. d1 divided by v2. Now you see, denominator से d1 common लेके 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. d1 और d1 आप cancel कर दो. Now again rearrange this equation. 2v2 plus v1 divided by v1 v2. In fact, it should be v1 into v2. What would I get? I would get 2v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. Now you put the values. What is v1? What is v2? What? You put the values. So values are like this: 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. You calculate it. It's not a difficult calculation. When you will calculate it, the answer that you will obtain will be 48 kilometers per hour. So this is the way how we do it, isn't it? Just remember how many formulas we used. Actually, I introduced you with the new formula, average speed. You have just used this formula and the one more formula जो कि आपने पहले पढ़ा था. With the help of these two formulas, I could get my answer, isn't it? So here, what am I trying to say? Please stick to the formula while solving these kind of problems over here. Right? There was another trick also. What was that trick? Hit and trial method. You will say, what was hit and trial method? Since time is not given, so assume it. Okay, from P to Q, it took 1 hour, let's say. If it took 1 hour from P to Q, so what will be the distance from P to Q? In 1 hour, it goes 40 kilometers. So the distance between P to Q becomes how much? 40 kilometers, and time is 1 hour. Got it? And from Q to P, again distance is 40 kilometers per hour, but this time it won't take 1 hour, because this time the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. So how much time it will take? It will take 60. This is the distance. What it will take? 40 equals to 60 into t. Now this is distance from where? From Q to P. 60 is speed, and time we can get. So time here we can get 2 by 3. This is in hour only. So it's 2 by 3 hours. Now what you see? What is the total distance? Total distance becomes 80. And what is the total time? Total time becomes 1 plus 2 by 3. So this way, if I want to get the value of average speed over here, so what will I get over here? Total distance becomes 80. Total time becomes 1 divided by 2 plus 3. So you just go on calculating it. You will get it 80 into 3 divided by 5. Once again, it will be how much? 48 kilometers per hour. Now this was hit and trial method. You can go either way. जो भी साम दाम दंड भेद आप use कर सकते हो, you can get it. But you have to, in competitive exam, you have to do it in the shortest possible way. Got it? Okay, किसी केस में नहीं लगता हमारा hit and trial method. If it is not working, go for the normal method that I told you. The normal method is using these formulas that we have learned over here, isn't it? Similarly, I am giving you this next question for your homework assignment. This question is again almost similar to the previous one. 2 and 3 things have been changed. Just apply your mind. Just see how we did the previous questions. क्या हम hit and trials इसको कर सकते हैं? Or we should go for with the normal method? Just look at it. Let me read the question for you. The question is: person covers his journey in 2 equal time interval with respective speed of 30 kilometers and 40 kilometers per hour. In this case, when the person is doing its journey from, let's say, A to C, now it is saying it has completed its journey in 2 equal time intervals. Fine. Let's say from A to B the time was same, and from B to C time was same. So this is the hint given in the question. Remember this thing. Now find its average speed for the entire journey. पूरी journey के लिए इसका average speed पता करिए. Not a difficult part. If you have gone through the lecture well, easy to understand, easy to calculate, please go through it and practice similar kind of questions over here. I hope you understood all the concept. घर पे जाके इसे रिवाइज कीजिएगा. यू कैन दोबारा से आप इस लेक्चर को देखिएगा. सो वी विल बी मीटिंग इन आवर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. थैंक यू.